Greetings to my lovely viewers. This is Suchitra, your friend, facilitator and guide from A to Z English Medium. In this video, I have brought the textual explanation and use of poetic devices in the poem The Road Not Taken, composed by Robert Frost. This is the first poem of your main textbook Beehive. But if you have not yet watched the introductory video of this poem, which contains the theme, message and summary, please watch it now. Its link has been shared in the description box of this video. And please subscribe to my channel A to Z English Medium and hit the bell icon to get the notifications of my latest videos. So now let us read and comprehend the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. In this introductory line, diverged means divided, yellow represents the autumn season, and wood means forest. So, the poet informs us here that while walking through a forest, he reached at a fork or at a point from where the road divided into two parts. He also adds that the forest is yellow because it is the autumn season, and at this time the leaves turn yellow and shed from the trees. By setting the poem in the woods or forest in autumn season, Frost creates a sense of silence or a tone of melancholy, gloominess or sadness. I'm sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent to the undergrowth. So the poet further says that he feels sorry or he regrets that being one person, he cannot walk on both the roads at a time, and that is why he stands for a long time. Here the poet wants to tell that he did not make the decision in a hurry. He took sufficient time for taking his decision, and while he was standing at the fork, he looked at one of the roads as far as he could, because after a certain distance there was a bend or a curve in the road where it disappeared in thick bushes. Now, if we understand the deep symbolical or metaphorical meaning of these lines, it means that in our life, when we have to make the important decisions, we also get a number of choices or alternatives. We do not land up to a decision very quickly. We take time and we try to look at the other side of that choice, about its pros and cons, about its merits and demerits, about its failure and success and everything. But the fact is, no one can absolutely or completely foresee or predict what is at the end or the other side of a road or of a path. And then whatever at that time feels the most correct or perfect, we choose that. So the poet is also facing the same dilemma, same confusion, and he is at the same situation of his life. Then took the one just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. So in the previous stanza, the poet says that he was looking at one road for a long time, and after that he took, here took means examined, so he examined the second road which he found to be as fair. Here as fair means equal or same. So the poet says that when he examined both the roads very minutely, he found that they were almost the same. he hardly noticed any difference between them. But still, he says that perhaps the second one was better, and he gave the reason of this choice by saying that it looked more grassy, means the grass was more fresh and green on that path, and it wanted wear, means it wanted people to walk upon it and to use it more. So by reasoning this, he decided to take the second road. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. So by reasoning this, when the poet started walking on the second road, after a while he noticed that both the roads are actually same. So here you can see the conflict in the poet's mind, his opinion being fluctuating or changing very quickly about the choices. So after walking for a while, when he found that both the roads were almost the same and were had worn them equally, means the users or the travelers had used both the roads almost equally. And then he says that that morning they looked same. Equally lay here means looking same. In leaves no step had trodden black, where the leaves were still green and they had not turned into black. Now, when do the fallen leaves on the roads generally turn black? When more people have walked upon them. So as the leaves had not turned black on both the roads, it showed that they were not much used. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So here the poet says that by choosing one road, he keeps the other road for some other day. Means he would love to come back some other day to the same point and try the second road or second option. But then immediately he himself confessed that practically it won't be possible. The reason is way leads on to way, means one road takes you to the other. Symbolically, it means that when we finally make our decision and choose an alternate, we cannot come back to the same point of our life and change our decision, because that choice will take us to further choices and further ways. And there is no U-turn in life. You have to walk on the same track by a little differences here and there. So the poet himself doubts on his statement that whether he would ever be able to come back and take or try the first road ever. So here the poet wants to convey to the readers that we have to be really very patient, wise, prudent, calm and composed when we take our decisions, and at the same time we should not take such important decisions of our life in a hurry and then later regret. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So the poet finally says that after a long time from then, he would tell to his younger ones or the next generation, maybe his children or grandchildren, that once upon a time in his life, he reached or he was at a point where he had to make a choice or where he had to take a decision between many choices, and he chose the one which was less used by other people. and that had really made a big difference in his life, that had shaped his future and has made a significant impact on his life. So finally, the same thing we see in our life as well, that our older ones in the family, our parents, they also narrate us about the choices they got in their lives, how they took their decisions, the dilemma they went through, and then the problems, the challenges they faced and how they overcame them, and the story of their success. So in the same way, the poet says that he will also be narrating about all these things to his upcoming generations, but with a sigh. Here sigh means deep breath, which actually expresses sorrow. So that is all from the explanation of this poem, and now we will discuss the important poetic devices which are used in this poem. We will start with metaphor, which means a direct comparison between two unlike things without using such as or like. And symbolism, which means to use a thing to represent an idea or an opinion. The thing is used as a symbol. In this poem, two roads diverged in a yellow wood is the example of both metaphor and symbolism, because here the road has been directly compared to the choices that we get in our life, and at the same time the roads are used as symbol of the choices. So both the poetic devices are used in this line. The next poetic device is alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sounding words in a sequence, in a line, sentence or paragraph. The consonant sounding word may fall in the beginning, middle or end of the word also. So the examples of alliteration in this poem are wanted wear, in which w consonant sound is repeated, and first for, in which f consonant sound has been repeated. The next poetic device is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounding words, where we find the same thing, that the vowel sound may appear in the beginning, middle or end of a word, and the word should fall consecutively or at short distances in a sentence or a paragraph. So the examples are two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and last example is long I stood. In all these lines, the vowel sound O has been repeated. The next poetic device is anaphora. Anaphora means to begin two or more than two lines with the same word or phrase. Line number 2 and 3 are the examples of anaphora. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could. Both the lines beginning with the same word and. Next poetic device is repetition. Repetition means to repeat a word, phrase or a complete sentence in a write-up in order to create a stronger impact of an idea or opinion upon the reader's mind. The examples of repetition in this poem are somewhere ages and ages hence, where the word ages is repeated, and the line two roads diverged in a yellow wood has been repeated in the poem. So both are the examples of repetition. So that's it in this video, dear viewers. If you like my videos and presentations, do share with your friends, relatives and co-mates, and do subscribe to my channel A to Z English Medium. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself.